Hi, I'm Michelle from the Adventurous Anderson family, and I'm a mum of 2 boys, and I also work at home with the online marketing business. And in my spare time, I DIY a 1940s state house, which we bought about a year ago. So I thought I'd show you a few quick tips on how to paint a wall. Now, it's all pretty new to me. I'm not an expert, and there's probably going to be a few mistakes along the way. But first things first is that you need to do something with your children. So you either palm them off to a friend or you lock them in another room and give them the digital babysitter. Alright, so first you need some old clothes. So you borrow your husband's old t-shirt, maybe a bandana just to protect the hair from some paint, but a lippy if you can. I couldn't find mine, so oh well, this is what you get. Now we need to get into our paint, so the best way to open it is get one of these handy dandy big screwdrivers. You just kind of wedge it in, twist it around, take off the lid. Looks a little bit manky to be honest, and a wooden spoon. Give it a stir. And then you're going to pour it into your relatively clean paint tray with a roller sleeve. Okay, we have some new jib on our wall in our dining room, and we need to undercoat it first before we put our top coat of paint on. Or actually we're going to wallpaper over this, but we still need to undercoat so the wallpaper can actually have something to stick to. We did make the mistake of not doing that before, and the wallpaper did start to peel off. So first I'm going to get what's called a cutting in brush. I don't have a very steady hand. I'm just going to run it around the edges of the wall and down before I roller it, and we're actually going to get rid of all this lovely and notes, almost like a shopping list. Even KFC gets a bit of a mention. I forgot to say while I was cutting in, if you've got any holes in your walls, you actually need to plaster over them, so you can use like a Sealy quick rapid seal and let it dry, and then just sand over it so it's nice and flat, because you do have to paint over it and you don't want it to be all lumpy and bumpy, not like my cellulite. Okay, so next you need to get your roller, cover it in paint, and roll it out a bit. You don't want too much on there or else it's just going to splash and splash it all up the wall, which is probably too much. Never mind, I've got a drop sheet. It's all good. I don't think it matters how it goes on because it's just undercoat. As long as it's pretty much covering, it'll be a bit rough. Okay, so we've finished the undercoating and we need to do the top coat, but we have to wait for the paint to dry, so it normally takes a couple of hours for it. Read the back of the paint tin and you'll know how long you have to wait between coats. But what I forgot to mention is that if you are working on old walls, you do need to clean them, because if there's any cobwebs, and particularly fly poo, it will actually bleed through your paint, so you'll eventually get to see it. So sugar soap works wonders. Just give your walls a quick wash and let them dry, and then voila, you can do your your undercoat, and then 2 or maybe even 3 coats of top coat. So I will deal with that tomorrow. I'm going to let this paint dry. Now I just had to wash out the paint trays and my brushes, and the best way to do that is under a tap or your garden hose, and make sure that the paint goes on the ground and not down your kitchen sink, because that's bad for the environment. Alright,